Hey, it's Jada again. In my last video, I was talking about the minor 6th chord, and I was in G flat major and G flat minor because I borrowed the minor 6th chord from the G flat minor key. And so what I want to do in this video is give you the minor 4 to 1 progression. Why am I saying minor 4 to 1? Because I made the 4 chord minor. Even though we're still in the major number system, we're taking and borrowing that chord from the minor key, and we're using that to lead us to the 1 chord. So I'm calling it a progression because we're not just playing this chord in isolation. I mean, sure, you can let me know in the comments, how do you use the minor 4 chord, whether you put the 6th in it or not. How do you use the 4 chord? So this, how to use the 4 chord in context. But I want to use particularly, it's this minor 4 chord, but I want the 6th in it. So minor 6th 4 chord. I think I should say it like that so it doesn't get confusing. The minor 6th on a 4 chord, so 4 to 1. But anyway, that's our progression. We know 4-1 would be that. But what I'm going to do is, right? If you hear it, it gives it a stronger tension. And remember, we just talked about how this is a half diminished chord as well, if it was in root. So you could look at it as half diminished 2 to the 1. Also borrowed from the minor key because the 2 would be diminished. And I've been playing it wrong that whole time. And even in that other video, I just realized that 2 is diminished. I don't know why I was playing a minor chord there. I wonder how many people noticed in the other video. I think I'll have to make a little note on that. But anyway, here we go. Here's the progression itself. And I don't want to just go from minor 4, the 6th chord, to the 1. I want to make it a little bit prettier than that. Make it a little bit softer. Smoother voice leading. Watch this. I didn't even move my hands. Right? B, A flat, B, D, G flat. And then all I'm doing is moving his 3 fingers to the B flat. And then, right? I've got a suspended chord. I'm suspending my 1, right? We talked about suspensions as well. Or like this. Right? Real smooth. That's the minor 4 or the minor 6th chord that's on the 4. Right? Something like that. Real quick, putting that back in there, going to the 1. Now, again, we talked about in the last video how Eddie Brown used this in I Have Decided. And so let me show you what he did, and then some things you could do or how you could place this yourself in the key. Now, keep in mind, we can go from here to here. That's a big jump. So we really want to try to soften that up as much as we can. When he was doing the song, let me see, he was let me see. Let me bear with me as I play this song or pieces of it. Right here. Right there. So it's about in the middle of the song, he hits this phrase here. 7, 3, 6. Sorry. Half diminished right here as well. And I'm going to hit it so you can see it. Right? Right back to my 1. But it's in first inversion. Just note that's what's happening with that chord. It went, we were on it, and then we went to first inversion. Same thing as I talked about before, even though the initial key is F. And I don't even think I gave you the numbers in G flat, but I'm in F for the moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 for both of those. But when he was in F, he came off of that. We talked about this in the 736 video. We were here. He was on the 2, secondary dominant, but then he went to his minor 6th chord on the 4. Here it is. And then he went to the 1 in first inversion. So he approached them differently. When he was in F, he approached from the secondary dominant. So that right there is giving you ideas. And then he went to it, this minor 6th chord on the 4, and then the 1 on the first inversion. But then we were in G flat. He was here. This is kind of a half diminished. It's a half diminished in its own right. And you could say this is since it is half diminished, and we actually have this chord in this chord in the key. This would be the 6th chord with the 6th on it. So we know the 6th chord is already minor, but then you add a 6th to it and then change the inversion. The chord is right here in our key as well. Just added that 6th into it, and then he went to the 4, right? Just like that. So that was that chord, how he used it. And he did it a few more times. Let me see. Also in the G flat key, he, what did he do? Let me see. Yeah, back to that. We can almost call this the same type of thing, except this is just the 2 as a secondary dominant. He didn't go through all the notes in it there. The 2. So we were on this and then he hits it here. He hits the 2. He hits the 4 minor. He's got the 4. And so this is a minor 9. Hit the minor 9. And then he hit the minor 6th chord. Right? And then to the 1. This is one of my favorite because it's just that voice leading and that movement there. That whole section. Then we hit. Right? All that's in there. What we did here, B, F sharp, A, D, F sharp. You see the G flats here, but F sharp for the sake of this being B in that key, then the A, and then the C sharp, even though you see D flat there. And then he resolved it and then went to the minor 6th chord and then we're to our 1. So you have both of those options just like he did it in that song. And why am I saying I really like that movement? Because the where it came from, movement wise, we were on the 6th chord and we're walking down half step motion, and then we got to our minor chord. So all that, we did not skip any notes to get from here to here. Right? Just beautiful voice leading. Seriously, check out some of his stuff, especially that song. There's a lot of great piano stuff in I Have Decided by Mariette Brown Clark, and pay special attention to how she's singing. Like, she doesn't even have to do 50 vocal tricks, and I'm not saying there's anything against that, but you hear the song, you hear the melody, the strength of the melody, and then he's harmonizing on the strength of this melody. What he's doing is not necessarily complicated, but it is profound. Just simple stuff that's filling up the gaps. Literally, that whole song could be a class in and of itself. There's, like I said, there's little nuggets and secrets all the way through it for how to do great voice leading, how to do fill in the gaps of the song and the chords. And I might do that one day. But for now, I'm picking out bits and pieces because there's stuff that you can be adding in your music right now. So let me see. Let me pick me a song in G flat. And just to show you that it's possible. Let me see, something like Hallelujah, maybe. Let's see how it works in there. I didn't want to use it there. Let's try it again right there when we got to that 4. See, I should have went faster. Try it one more time. So something like that. I squeeze it in there. Let me see. That one right there, instead of doing, what would I do normally? Let me see. And then this chord here, I could use that. Normally that's probably what I would have done, but I'm using this minor 6, so let's go back to that spot. Led me back to my 1 right there. Let me see. How about I can do both, so that works in Amazing Grace. I'm on my 4 right now. Sweet. I hit my 4, my major 4, because that's in my key. But then I know I want to go back to that 1, so I went from my major 4 to my minor 4 to my 1. You can use it right there. So even if you hit your target chord, remember you hit your target chord, and if the chord you're on is not a substitute for the target chord, begin the next phase of it. Hit your target chord, but then go ahead and re-trigger on the chord that you're going to. This is going back to that minor 4-1. I know I'm going to my 1, so just insert that in real quick. We might not have thought of that as a progression, but it is. It got me back to my 1 chord. So that was a couple of songs. You can throw that in there. And just for kicks, because I did this wrong in that other video, I want you to see that minor chord again. And all the numbers. I got it. I just did it wrong in that other video. And yeah, maybe I should have looked at that a little closer. But nevertheless, something that you can learn from, I can learn from. We need that object lesson. Don't get out of practice of doing stuff so long that you forget what it's supposed to look like when you have to break it down to its simplest parts. As always, practice that multiple keys. We know what the chord looked like. It was in the other video. But this one was on the progression of the minor 4 or the minor 6 on the 4 chord to the 1 progression. And so again, practice it, all your keys, have it handy. That's a nice little move. Great voice leading. if you like this kind of stuff, content, all that great stuff, subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment, share with your friends. Let them know this is some great stuff out here. Listen to some music. See if you can identify it in some songs. Let me know what songs you've heard this in. And also, if you're looking have other questions or looking for lessons, email me at jadaonpiano@gmail.com. And as always, happy practicing and have a blessed day.